All right, welcome to the Decoding podcast. We got the first episode here today with MrFool, who hosts his own
Hey
game
yo.
shows, and same thing with Kane, who hosts his own game shows now and took over for his boy. Um, so yeah, we're going to be talking about our own hosting experiences today, about the Survivor community, all that good jazz. Obviously, we all got like our own profile pictures in the background and stuff too, just because we don't want you looking back there. But yeah, this is gonna be the first episode of many. We're gonna have tons of guests. We're gonna be focusing on good players, bad players, host, and today I got two amazing hosts that decided they want to come on, and I was like, man, this is great. So first question I got for you guys today is, when did you get into hosting? And I guess we can start off with you, Michael.
All right. So I've been in the community for 7, 8 months now. And believe it or not, my first game show that I hosted was actually before I even entered the community. I first started maybe like early October, late August, and I actually joined the community late October. Um, so that was my Big Brother season one, which was just a bunch of my SMP friends and one of my IRL friends. And since then, I've just been hosting and I've been branching out. And I got two people that have played in both one of my Big Brothers and one of my Survivors, and it's pretty cool. I love hosting, and I hope to continue to do it.
Yourself, Kane?
So back in like 2016, I was in the community. Way back then, I was like, I'm 17 now, so I can't do math. So whatever age that
So
was.
like 12.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my god.
I have proof of it and everything. I remember I used to be the biggest fan of Andrew Yala, so I used to watch all his like Big Brother stuff.
Yeah, same here,
Man,
man.
that's crazy. I used to be in his community and everything, but I left for like 3 years or so. Then I hosted a Survivor with just my friends for $20, and I was like, man, I really wish like more people did this. I was like, oh wait, they do. So I joined the community. I started playing a bunch of games, and over time, I was always thinking like I should host. At the same time, I just don't feel like it. But then, when my good friend Ethan, he had to leave the community, so I had to step up for him, and it's been pretty fun so far.
Yeah, no, you've hosted what, 5 seasons now, right?
Yeah, I think 5.
And
Oh,
Michael,
jeez, wow.
How many have you hosted? Like 20 in total?
I've 15 Big Brothers and 2 Survivors,
So
and
seven.
like 3 org seasons, so basically
Yeah.
20. Yeah.
That's
What's
good.
your favorite, Big Brother or Survivor?
The host,
Yeah.
I think I have to go Big Brother just because I've done that longer. But Survivor, the second season I did Survivor Japan, which you played in, Kane.
Yeah.
That
The best
in Big
player
Bro-
of the season. Yeah.
that was one of the most fun seasons I've ever hosted. One of the best seasons I've ever seen play out in Survivor or Big Brother. That in Big Brother 12, Jeff, top 2 seasons I've ever hosted. So much fun. Got the runner up of Big Brother season 12 and like what, 8th place for you, Kane?
Yeah.
Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Hey,
So
runner up
much-
of
so
season
much fun.
15 as well.
That wasn't as fun, but also yeah.
Oh no, that was terrible. No.
I was
Yeah,
the biggest threat. I was the biggest threat on your season, fool. Like I remember
You-
everyone was going after me.
You had 2 idols, bro, and I think you got fucked over by the fact that there was 2 idol nullifiers.
Yeah.
Oh my
There was
God.
one. There was one, and then before the season, my co-host Hales hid one like 5 minutes prior, and just chose not to tell me till I figured out like mid-season that Dylan had like two idol nullifiers, and I'm like, what?
Are you
So when I
kidding
found out,
me?
when I found out, I was like, nah, my 2 idols are for nothing. So
Yeah, that's all like,
Ooh,
okay, well,
wow.
I know Kane's automatically gonna get voted out unless he just somehow has like the numbers, which I knew you
Yeah.
didn't. So you kind of got fucked over there.
yeah,
Man, that's crazy.
yeah.
So-
That happens a lot.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. That actually leads into my next question. How much does your production team like help mean to you? Like the other people that help you? Because myself, I don't really have anybody else that helps me at all. I have like people come in and help a little bit, like giving me tips and like tricks, and then obviously like building. Like I had Anton help me help a little bit with this upcoming season, the season I just hosted. But like obviously, Michael, you have Liv, and
Yeah,
Kane, you have a
there-
full
I
team
have so
around
many
you.
people. Yeah.
That for me. I have Ollie,
Yeah.
but that's the only person that really does anything. Like I mean, all these other people I get production members on, they don't really do anything. Which is like that's why I'm like, okay, I don't need production members anymore. Just like Ollie's a great help. I kind of sit on my ass most of the time, anyways. And so when he has everything done, he's like, okay, you're good to go. I'm like, I just go in and host. So I'm just
Yeah.
basically the face. He's the
He's
all
all the
the
bat behind the scenes.
yeah, all the back behind it.
I mean, yeah, same with like for your Ali, that's like my live
Yeah,
for basically my entire Big Brother. Literally, if they're live and pie, I will die by this that they're the top two builders in this entire community,
Okay.
and they have made my game show what it is today.
yeah,
And I can never thank them enough for it. Like genuinely, they always say like I don't give enough credit, but I try to. They truly do so much for me. And then like I could go to my Survivor. I have a whole another production team there. I got my good friend Omega, and him and I, back when like my Survivor was like consistently hosting, we would like
Yeah.
spend 3-4 hours each night just building and planning everything out. And then I had my other good friend Quack who would like help like with the tribe names and like the tribe colors.
yeah.
And every time like a winner would win, they would get to like choose a location. So we'd always once like we get that location, we'd go out and like find a map with that location and set it all up, and it was just so much fun. And then my Survivor org with Oxy as well. Him and I, we just the perfect pair. We balance each other out so well, and he helps me out every now and again with like my big brother or even my Survivor, just giving me tips because he's been
Mhm.
hosting for a while, and I just learned a lot from him, and so he's such a helpful member to have as well on my production team, and it's just great. Like I've worked with so many different people in the past in terms of hosting, like they help me host or I help them host, and it just works out so well, and it's a ton of fun to have like a production team that you really get along well with and you all work together well with.
Yeah, definitely.
From your side, you have so much help, and then you just look at me and Kane, and
I mean,
and
props to you.
it looks like it's me and Ollie, so I should be saying
The thing
Ollie.
is, I can't work with help because like I'm like, hey guys, we need to get this done. So I'm expecting them to get it done, like in the time frame. And then
Yeah.
I find out they didn't do nothing. So I'm like, okay.
Dude, that's the same thing, bro. For during winter break, I went like on a spree of hosting. Like 3 straight seasons. I did like 7, 8, and 9 for my big brother, all in like the span of a week.
Oh my
Just 'cause like
gosh.
it's winter break, might as well just pump it all out. And I had like Liv and Pie working overtime, and I was like, listen, we get this done throughout this winter break. We can like I'll give you guys like a month break before we do All Stars. And then all I ask for like in that month is that you like get some progress done on like the All Stars house, and they they of course the epic people they got it done like 2 days before All Stars. But it was great. It was great.
You're
It's
so
funny.
lucky,
You give them
man.
a time. I know. I mean, I did get very lucky with both of them. It
Seriously.
very good stroke of luck there.
Hmm. All right. So next question I got: what is your favorite thing about hosting?
My favorite
Whoever wants to
thing is
take it.
I love to see like new players. I like this. I always like to see new players. I also like old players. At the same time, I like when people switch things up. Like for me, I always like to switch things up in the game. I like to go crazy. I betray my ally. I betray all, and like people are like, "Hey, you're so stupid." I'm like, "But it's fun." Like I think hosts like the reason why I like hosting is because I want to see what people do like by themselves. I want to see how they play. So like, I want to see how they play like me. I want to see them play like me. I've always enjoyed my play style.
For me, it sort of a lot around that, like seeing like how people like play, especially like given like what twists you may put out there, what cast you give them, and how they work around that to win. And I've always thought that like my game show seems pretty difficult to win because I see some of the best players struggle so much in that. And like I've seen like big names go out so early, and I've seen small names just take home the cake at the end, and I'm just like, didn't expect that. But like the best thing for me is just no like at the end of the day, like once the season's all said and done, people coming up to me and being like, "That was the most fun I've ever had playing a game show," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, I did that. Thank you." Like it's kind of like, I mean, it's just like flattery, and I feel so good. Like I love producing and like putting all this effort and time into like one thing, and then someone is just like afterwards like, "Wow, I'm blown away." Alright, we good?
Oh my god, it looks like we had a little buff between that. It looks like Discord went down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's very strange. I've never actually had that happen in a call before. That's
Yeah.
I guess that's the
We all
first,
good?
but
We
you
all
can
good?
just continue, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the biggest thing, probably the most notably, is once again the Survivor Japan season that Kane played in.
Mhm.
Like when I've met like very few people who've played that season and haven't told me that it's like the most fun they played in Survivor, and it's probably changed because it's been like that was like months ago. But people just nonstop told me how much fun it was, how great it looked. Like the map was perfect, the builds were just
Yeah, it was
just jaw
fun.
dropping.
Like for me, it was just like being the target 24/7. It's just fun for me. Like because
Exactly,
you have to
man.
climb your way up, and imagine you get to the end. It's like, oh yeah, I did that. I did that.
Exactly, bro. And like oh god, it's just so amazing. And like the way people like will remember it constantly and just talk good about it. There's nothing better. There's nothing better to hosting than seeing other people enjoy it. And when they don't enjoy themselves and they're not having fun, then it's just sort of like
Yeah.
I don't know if I can swear. I don't know if I can swear or not.
Go for it. Go for it. I don't care.
I was like, fuck, damn, okay, shit. Well, I clearly messed up. Like then I feel bad because I'm like, well, something clearly was dropped along the way. I didn't do as well of a job as I should have, and I don't like that feeling of feeling like I messed up. You know, because you try your best out there as a host,
Mhm.
and you can't always do a perfect job. And then if people are like, I didn't have that much fun, the cast was horrible, blah 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 blah, then it's just like, sorry, I tried. You know,
Yeah.
people that don't host, I feel don't realize how difficult it actually can be, and that annoys me to some extent. But at the same time, it's just like,
Well, I
maybe
used to be
put
one of
yourself
those
in your
people.
shoes.
I used to be one of those people. I remember I was like, man, come on now. I'm not doing just be like, Rakoki read the votes or something, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but then when I got there, like, so many technicalities happened my first time. I was like, oh, I messed up on this, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
It's just,
exactly. Yeah.
I think I hate the pre-merge. Worst time ever for me. Like, if there was just a season where I could just do merge, perfect for me. Because merge runs smoothly. I can just hear everybody perfectly. I don't have to go in and out. Like, I don't know. I like merge a lot better than pre-merge.
I think everyone
That's
likes
actually been
merge love.
tested before. Like in orgs, there's this org called MergeViver that I played in for orgs, and they did that. It didn't really go too well because
There
obviously
was
there's
too
no
much.
like you get into like knowing nobody. Like you get none of that time. You get to not learn people's abilities, not learn what they're
That's
good
the one
at.
good thing about pre-merge is
Exactly.
you get to set up a base. Whereas like if you just jump in a merge, then it's like I have to talk to like 17 different people. Like
Mhm.
fuck that. Like how am I supposed to actually like set up like a base around myself to like protect myself?
Well, the thing is,
Exactly.
I'm known for my terrible social game. I'm always running around, just like yelling at people, like, like just like yelling at people, like, you're stupid, you're stupid. But then like,
Yeah, yeah.
so then at the end of the season, they're like, why'd you treat me like that? I'm like, hey man, it's just a game. Like they respect it most of the time, but if you mess with the wrong community, it's a bit mistake for me doing that. But
Exactly.
I've seen that happen to you like twice now.
Yeah.
yeah. So you gotta be really careful who you're playing with, and I think I've read the room now. I've left that side of the community that I just can't deal with. But this side of the community, I feel like a lot of people love when I'm like energetic and crazy, because
Yeah.
my main thing used to be entertainment. I wanted people to be entertained by me. That's what I was like mainly focused on. Everyone just having fun.
Yeah.
So that's why I mainly focused on entertainment value more than actually trying to win.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. I think a lot of people focus on the entertainment value because I'm like you. Obviously, I put on a role whenever I play / host. Like that.
Yeah.
This isn't me at all. Anywhere close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like I think that's a lot of thing for most hosts because you put in so much hours. Like you'll either spend like 24 hours plus building or even more on that, and then be like, "Come on, I really want you guys to enjoy the season." And then it just comes down to simple things like casting, which also leads into the next question. With casting, what do you particularly look for in people who, even if they're returning or they're new, like what's the right mixture of people? Because there are like some people that you get, and you're like, obviously some of us will be like, because those people are, there's the great term of friend grouping out there. And
Yeah.
that just makes us unenjoyable. But whoever wants to take it, go ahead.
You
Casting.
can go first, Rule. You can go first.
Okay. The I've I've sort of learned. I've touched on this like a bit when I talk to other people about casting. Especially because you guys host like on the Survivor side, I'm more like on the Big
Yeah.
Brother in terms of like that's my experience.
Hmm.
No matter what you do, there's always gonna be a friend group in that waiting room, chilling, trying to all get in, and there's always gonna be some pregame of some sort, and
Yep.
that's like almost near impossible to stop. Like friend groups and pre-gaming, because like you're more than likely to play with like people that you know and people that you already have like some baseline of trust and you know how you work with them, which is why like people like Kane are great casts because they don't care about that and they'll play with like a fresh slate,
Hmm.
which is great. But there's a ton of people that don't, and so sometimes like you get to like know those people that like are always working with their friends or whatnot, so you know that like, oh, this person's gonna work with this person. Do I really want to cast them, or try cast them and have another friends casted? Then it's just like kind of hard to differentiate the two. And sometimes then you just get like a friend group war, and then whichever friend group gets out first, then they're just gonna be like, why would you cast an entire pregame? Like, I casted a pregame of your friends, and you guys didn't go too well. You know, that's your fault.
What the thing is, like, I hate like every time I see my friends in like a waiting room, I'm like, because I know what I'm gonna do. Like, I know I'm gonna betray them.
And they know your
And
game plan too. Like they know how you do.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is this: they still work with me,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they don't betray me. Like, they don't betray me, but I have to betray them first. So every time I'm always the one betraying them. They're like, "Ken, you're an asshole, man. Like, don't talk to me no more." I'm like, come on, man. It's just Minecraft. Like, we were still like good friends, like outside the game. So
Yeah.
that's when like some of my friends, like not just like my friend Anton, he gets mad at me sometimes. So I haven't been able to talk to him like not much anymore because he kind of gets mad at me when I betray him.
Yeah.
So it kind of
Yeah.
just sucks at the same time. But casting with like friend groups, it's kind of weird because like when I'm in a call with my friend group, like so Ali, me and him like love playing with each other sometimes.
Hmm.
Like whenever we get the chance, we barely do, but like when I see him in the waiting room, I just have a little grin. I'm like, you know, like thing is, this is what I do with my friend group. Final six is the cap. Once we get the final six, you're done. You're out.
Hmm.
Or I say merge. I say once we get the merge, I'm flipping on you like as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Like, cause I know my skill level, so it's like if I'm playing the same game as like Ali, for instance, I'm taking him out final 8, final 9. I'm taking him out early.
Yep.
So then, yeah. So even if I don't take him out early, final 6 is always the cap, and that's when I go advance on and to take him out, or he takes me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of gone past that lately because me and Pepe. If you haven't known, me and Pepe, we haven't really gone against each other in a long time. Because now officially 1-8 against him in FTCs or final twos, like season
Yeah.
12. Because I officially finally won. So now like he still thinks I'm never gonna ever betray him. So if he never sees this, the next time I'm playing a season with him, woo, it is on site. Now that I beat him, I don't care. It's
Yeah, you gotta be ruthless, Jeff. That's always your biggest.
I love Pepe though. Honestly, if you can't hate Pepe, you can't.
It's hard. It's hard.
It is really hard to like be like, man, I want to vote out Pepe, and that's like the
Yeah.
best thing about the guy.
But for me, like man, I just know I can't get him because I know he has this whole posse, and like
Oh my gosh.
I'm like although I'm
That's
a big
the hard
name,
part.
Yeah.
although I'm a big name and everything, it's just like Pepe's like has a bigger name, so
Yeah.
It's because he
everyone's-
draws in like the people that are like on the bottom, or like
Yeah.
on the bottom socially or competition wise. They all have to get up to get people like myself. Like I'm not saying I'm great, like great at comps. Most people do say I'm great at comps. Like I'm a more physical player, but like I hate winning most of the time, because that's just boring to me. Like why win if you're never at risk? Because like
Yeah. Exactly.
you gotta be risky sometimes. Like that's the best. That's my favorite part. It's like, can I learn to trust you? Because it's kind of like a real life relationship to be like with your friends and everything. Like, like over time you gain trust, you gain bonds, and that's like the best thing about this community for me. because like obviously you two I've like talked a little bit with.
Yeah.
I've played a recorder with one of you. That might come out soon.
Yeah.
Obviously, Michael, not Kane.
The thing is, like, with the thing with gameplay wise, like trusting people, it's like I play differently every time. It's like a gamble with me. One time, I'm gonna be playing this like master game, mastermind game. Like I'm quiet. I'm like, okay, yeah. But then like I'm so loud at tribals and all that stuff. Or I can just go guns and blazing, yelling at merds like, I'm voting out you, get out. It's like
Fun. It's fun that way.
And then like everyone's like, okay, we're gonna vote you out. I'm like, wait, guys.
Slow down, slow your roll, man.
Yeah, so then like I'm on the bottom, like trying to I'm talking to the other people on the bottom, like guys, we have to flip the script. So it looks like I'm on the bottom. So it's like you're the king and you fall all the way down.
You become a pawn.
And that's the best story arc you can ever have in Final Tribal Council. So that's what I usually do.
So that's what you believe is the best story arc.
It's fun. It's just like imagine the Kane father, and then boom, crashes to the ground. One of my allies gets voted out.
Somehow it gets all the way to the end.
What's your favorite storyline then, Michael? If that's his favorite, what's yours? What's yours got to be? Out of all the people you've seen get to the end to win, or even get second place, like what is your favorite thing to see? Like, do you like to see perfect games get ruined?
I've seen perfect games. I've seen perfect games get ruined. I've seen underdogs. I've seen come from behind. I've seen every single strategy you can possibly think of either win or get to the end and barely lose.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Like the top 200% are like underdog from like the beginning somehow, or just top dog all the way through. Because like I like to think of, underdogs. I'm trying to think of like one that was in my season that won. But he didn't win. But Blarga in season 11, he had a crazy underdog story. He was brought back as like a twist, and he was targeted all throughout pre-jury, and then somehow randomly, like week 7 or something, he becomes top dog because he used all the people on the bottom, and just flipped the script on to the people that were on the top, and then he just became top dog. That's probably one of the best games if you can be an underdog, and then just somehow flip the script and become the top dog and run the entire season. Like if you can do that, that's just incredible. Like you like the top dog to underdog, that's really cool. But underdog to top dog, that's crazy because that means like you completely socially manipulated your position into a place where you're literally running the entire season and making all the big moves, making all the decisions. Whereas if you're on the top and you fall to the bottom, you almost become a floater sometimes, depending on what cards you get stuck with, because you're not making those moves. Other people are making those moves and they're choosing to let you stay in the game just so that just because they see you as powerless and not as a threat, which you could definitely use it if you get to the end, but it's very difficult to put your game over someone that's been on the top all the way through. Whereas if you're an underdog and become top, then that's just plain and simple shows great social game, great strategic game, and more than likely a great physical game if you even got that far in the game to become the top.
Yeah, no, especially in Big Brother. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, in Survivor, I think Kane can agree with me on that. Because once you go to the top dog to the underdog, you can start being seen as a GOAT.
Well, actually, fun fact about that. So, I played in Bad Seasons recently. Season 2, I won.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what happened. In the beginning of the season, I was calling the shots. I was like, I want you gone. I want you gone. And then people were like, hold on. And then they took me all the way down to the bottom. They voted out every single ally I had. So then it felt like I had no control. But at the same time, I was building my way up. Like, I was like, okay, social bond with this person I'd never talked to. I was cocky. Because, B, Hannah?
Yeah.
So when I was on the top, I was like, Hannah, I'm sorry, you gotta go home. It just happens like that. And I got blindsided. No, blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
So Hannah was like, oh, who's on the bottom now? But then I was like, Hannah, I'm so sorry. And then Hannah played rocks. We went to rocks for me.
Oh my god. I've had the same shit with Hannah before.
And
I've never had that.
I'm never a GOAT. That's one thing I'll never say.
Oh, same here.
There's no way, even if I do get to the bottom, people always think I've never lost a Final Tribal Council. The only season I did was the first time I came back after 4 years. It was an Oxys season 5-on-5 season. But I have not lost a Final Tribal Council just because it's crazy if I get to the end. Like no one expects me, a big player, to get to the end like that.
I lost to Oxy in the final tribal council, so
Ah,
that's tough.
the thing is, I used to be a small player. Like, I like the thing with small players and big players because I was tired of being a small player. When Oxy's 505, perfect example. First Survivor game that like after 3 years, you could see how I played. I was quiet. I was just not really talking that much. I started evolving every time I played. So I used to play my friend Survivor. So then I used to be a little bit louder, and then over time, louder, louder, louder. So then that creates traction of your name. Everyone's like, "Oh, Kane's playing! No, no! Like, oh, Kane's here! Let's go!" So everyone gets excited when I play. So that's why it's like you go from a small player to a big player, and I think that some small players just need to be more out there. Well, it doesn't work.
I feel
for some
you,
people,
Kane. Because
but
I've said this a couple times. When I entered the community, it was obviously Big Brother, and there was a very famous strategy under the radar, which a lot of players love in Big Brother because it's so easy to get far with it.
Yep.
And then I just realized I'm not really having fun, and I'm not really even making it to the end because once my cards are shown, then it's like near impossible to get out because I'm just being shady with everyone. And then I saw this man, Kane Father, play a couple times, and I'm like, why don't I just be like loud and scream shit? Like who cares at that point? Like we're just here playing a game show. Why does it matter at the end? And so I'm like, okay, let me try it out. And one of the best games I ever played, I honestly don't even remember because I haven't played a game show in ages. But I remember just being loud just for the sake of it and just see how it works. And I play like fucking amazing and incredible games. And it's just like easy, done, plain and simple.
You know what's really funny about my mom? Like, so I remember when I first started playing the Survivors, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm playing Survivor." So she made a board saying "in session." So whenever I play a Survivor, I put it in front of my door, and she knows I'm playing Survivors. Like, she supports my Survivor game. She's like, "I hear you up there. Did you win?" And I'm like, "No." But sometimes when I do, like when I do win, she's like, "Oh yeah, let's go." So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
She hypes me up. She was like, "You're not playing Survivor game today? You always love Survivor." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe not today, but recently I haven't been playing as much as I used to, but I've been playing a decent amount."
I think that's the same with all three of us because we haven't the last time I saw Michael play was a recorded season with me.
Yeah. What was that? Like 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Oh, dude, that's a month ago. That's right.
Oh Jesus Christ! I've lost track of time. And before that, it was like a month ago or 2 months ago in my last season that I played. I've fallen off in the hosting. It's been God knows how long since I've last hosted.
Well, I mean, because there's going to be times with the community where I work. I don't know if you guys work or not.
I can't on time
because I work for minor league baseball right now. So I don't have the time, especially when there's games on Saturdays. I have to be there.
Yeah,
I have to be there the whole day. So I don't have any time, which is crazy to think about because obviously it's summer for most kids, and for Survivor that's going to be like the top thing. So obviously there's going to be more people hosting, more people doing that, and with all these new people starting hosting, it's kind of weird to see, at least for me, because obviously you're going to see new names start popping up and that you don't know about, and then they're just going to get casted by everybody, which is something that I kind of weird with.
Kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy, but kind of weird with as a host, because I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from? I'm not gonna it would be so strange to me to come back and be like,
old.
don't know. Yeah, you don't know half these people, even though I've only been in the community for a year and a half now, which is crazy. But just trying to get into back into the mindset of everything is just kind of hard, especially when when you host for so long and then you don't play for a while. It's just so weird to me, at least with that.
Because you're so out of everything, and then you're just like, oh God, how do I do this again?
You're so focused on making everybody happy at the same time.
I used to play so much, like last year, it was insane. Every day I'd be like, "Yeah, Survivor." But
we had an excuse,
Yeah, but over now it's I mean, should I play this one? If I see a friend of mine in there, I guess I'd be like, whatever. But I play if I see new players or if I know the name of the host. It's oh, because I got invited to this recorded Survivor, and Pepe woke me up. It was funny. It was Llama's Survivor, and Pepe woke me up. He was like, "Hey, Kane, you want to play this Survivor?" And I was like, "No," and I just went back to bed. But because like I didn't know Llama and I wasn't gonna play anyways. I used to love recordings because I used to like my name Spotlight, but then I watched them. I'm like, I don't really watch this. Like, I don't watch the record. I don't watch recordeds.
I'll only watch it if I'm in it. Like, that's my big thing.
I can't even do that. I can't even do that. Like, it's hard.
The only episode I watched of Oxy season 8 was my episode, and then I've seen like clips and snippets of a couple other episodes, but other than that, just now.
Like I like to look back and learn about like what I was like, because like Echo's season 2. I don't know if you guys seen it yet or not. It's like still coming out because he has work and everything. And this is back before I was Jeff. This was like this was so old because like the Jeff persona hasn't come in until like November, and I've been doing it since then. But before then, it's just so weird to see me like flip completely from being like someone who just wants to be completely under the radar. Like you two at the beginning, you guys already said that.
Yeah.
And I just, turn it on. So, like, that's why, like, I'm, like, when I start coaching people to, like, I'm, like today, I was playing with duckweed. I'm like, dude, it's time for you to, like, step it up and just put your foot on the pedal. If you get sick of losing at FTC, you just need to put your foot on the pedal and you need to become a target. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah, most people, like, when they reach Final Tribal Council or, like, Final 2, you gotta, like, have some sort of story. Because you got to know the jury ahead of time already has like a pre-existing opinion on your game and other people's games, and it's so hard to change that. Like I've seen a couple people make a hell of a case and still lose just because the pre-existing opinion of like, okay, well I've seen this person like have more upfront open game in comparison just an under the radar player, and it's so much harder and more difficult to explain your thing.
It's weird because like when like my social game, like I said, is really bad. So when I do get to the end, it's surprising. I've never had to deal with a mean, like bitter like jury. Like I've never had to like, because I don't burn people in a like mean way.
Yeah.
Like I burn people like once I'm like, let's go! Like whenever I survive a vote, I'm like, hey GG man. Like I text them like, hey GG. Like I know like this is all an act. And then like I texted them after the season, and like I make bonds with people. Like some people that like have a misconception about me, saying like I'm an asshole. Like sometimes when I play, it's just my competitive nature. So
that's everybody. Like, that's literally. I think everybody gets that. Like you're either sometimes you're gonna be an asshole.
Yeah. So sometimes I sit down with someone like Kid Trip. There's a guy named Kid Trip.
Yeah.
I talked to him for like 2 hours, like about real life stuff, about like just like how the world is, and like he's gotten to know me so well that like anytime I get into like a little controversy, like he always backs me up because he knows how I am as a person. Like I would sit down with you guys for 2 hours to talk about like politics, whatever, like like how the world is.
That. Nah.
I don't even talk about. It's not even about politics. It's just about
anything.
Yeah, just like any good
like
conversation.
Survivor. That's what brings everything together. All right, let's get. We've been off track for a little bit, but it's whatever. I like it because like it just gets more of like your own like personal opinion out there, which is amazing. So let's get into your favorite season you ever hosted and your favorite moment of that season.
Kane, you can take this away. I need to think about that.
You have too many seasons to think about.
All right.
And obviously say like who won and everything,
I think Floral Kingdom was a good season of mine. It was my season 2, and I had 40 plus people in the waiting room to play it. So it was like I got the biggest names in there. It was just amazing to cast those people. So like getting to see them play, it was amazing. The winner, his name was Steven. He was a pretty cool guy.
Oh, Steven, yeah.
Yeah, you know him. So it was a really fun season, and I think like that's the best one I had so far. Some seasons are boring to me. Like I hosted a season called Jungle Warfare recently.
Oh,
and it was
no.
it was just kind of bland. Like the cast was kind of bland. They didn't really do anything in merge. Like usually I like to see a bunch of people go crazy. So like Jeff, if you were there, that would have been pretty fun. But
well, I got pre-merged because of fucking Hales.
They cut you off, man. You would have like it was.
Jeff, you already know I've been fucked over by Hales so many times.
Well, no, the funny thing was, in that season, both times in pre-merge that I voted, before, like, Tribe Swap and everything, I voted NKS as a joke. Because he's like, watch me get first boot, NKS funny. Or Jonas, whatever, like, I'm cool with calling him Jonas, obviously. And, like, when you can do that and have fun with it and cause chaos, that's the best part for me. But, like... Mm-hmm. When you get to the point where, like, I was like, oh, here we go, friend group. That's what ended up happening to me in that season.
Well, it's hard to play. Like it's hard to cast too. Back on the casting.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I'll let you go, Michael. But with the casting thing, I cast this guy named Gavin recently. And
Oh no, let's not get no. Let's not get into this.
Yeah.
I know where this leads, and it's just bad, dude. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. It's that was completely uncalled for.
I casted like
I don't even know what happened. I just need to hear Gavin.
The thing is, when he got voted out, like, cause he
was first boot.
They were mad that I weren't voted, like, that I didn't put him in, cause I was like not, but then they was like, "It's my birthday," blah blah. So I was like, "Oh, I'll put B in, Gavin," and blah blah. So, but then like when he got out, I could not control him. Like I had to mute him, cause he just.
Well, yeah, he was going places where you should never go, which is like the place of being homophobic and everything. Like you can't go that far. That's.
Yeah, like, I never understand the people that go the same with like homophobic stuff is just some sides of the community, like not even gonna name any, but like if you say one wrong thing, it's over for you. It's not a.
That's why I'm
all about that.
That's why I've removed myself from that Discord entirely.
Me too. Like they just push everything on you.
It's crazy.
And they also falsely accuse stuff. Like back in Michael's Japan season, so I voted this one person out, and he accused me. The next, I woke up, I was like, what a nice evening. And he just accused me of saying like a slur, and I was like, whoa, like I never said anything because like when he got voted out, he started spamming it in chat. But then the next day, he said I said it, so it's really annoying. And like I had to talk to people. I was like, hey, I'm not like that. Like this is just a game at the end of the day. Like let's be actually like mature about this.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I don't. I can't
It's so stressful as a host.
Oh yeah, no. Because you have to, you get you're responsible in the other players' eyes to do something.
Yeah, because everyone looks to you and is like,
when it's an uncomfortable situation, it's like working somewhere and then like someone's being completely unreasonable and doing that.
Yeah,
it's the same thing except you're not getting paid.
Exactly, bro.
It's just everything of like cancel culture and everything, which is just
Yeah.
Stuff crazy.
I've had a season like that before.
No.
I've had 2 seasons that got really, really toxic and really, really bad on the Big Brother thing.
Why am I always involved in this?
Well, okay, I mean that one wasn't so bad. I'm more so thinking about season 5 and season 12.5. Season 5
I was in that. I was in 12.5.
You were? Oh my god. 12.5 was just a beast of its own. And season 5 is probably the most memorable toxicity because season 12.5 was such a mess. But season 5, like, I don't remember what happened exactly because it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But these 2 people, this guy named Brayden and this girl named Sandra, got in, like a big argument, and it was all about like doxing one another, and it just kept escalating. And this was still when I was like a relatively small name, and so like they were just and this is when I was hosting like 9-player seasons because I was like I didn't have a Turnos or anything, and it just got so bad and so messy, and like people just kept like blaming me, and I'm like I don't know what you want me to do. Like I'm trying my best to like calm them down, end the fight, and then I just kept getting blamed. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to host if this is how it's gonna be with like these type of players, because it's still a new season. I'm like, okay, well, I'm meeting all these new people and they're all just being super toxic. I don't really want to do all this just for them to be toxic. And so I deleted like everything and just never hosted again until like ages later.
Thing is, I hate like playing in like the like one part of the community. Like I said, I left it. But I remember I used to, and it was always the same stuff, man. It was always the same people. I always got called the straight men or like voting. I was like, man, these straight men are voting out.
Kane, remember that the season of the challenge we played together? It was like, and it was like,
everyone was so mad. No, everyone was so mad at me. So let me
yeah, afterwards.
So, this season they voted out 2 of my friends back in the challenge.
Yeah, it was Anton, Kane, and I. We were like, we don't know anyone here. Can we please like align? And then somehow this got like sniffed out or whatever. I don't even think it was sniffed out. I just think people just didn't like us because we were just.
Anton
and they were like,
went.
Get the straight men alliance out, and I was like,
so Anton went, and then you went. So what I said, the reason why so many people were pissed at me is because what I said, man, I wrote your name down, and I wrote your name down. You're going home. Like I was like, I'm going after you guys. And so when I said you guys, everyone thought it was everybody.
Oh my god.
So everyone was like, "Come on, vote him out!" And it took them like 3 tries to get me out because like I kept like winning in like the
Yeah.
comps to stay in. And I was like, "Yes, yes!" And then once they got me out, they're like, "Finally, we got the straight man out. We got the straight man out." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
"Oh."
that was bad. That was really
No,
bad.
that's and then like because I feel like I know who you're talking about. That was a part of that, but obviously I'm not going to name names because that's
We
just too
we
far.
all had like that same idea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I already know.
Yeah, we already know. I mean, to be honest, we're
But-
not going to turn to this anyway. But who cares? I'm not
Yeah.
going to say shit. So let's get back to your favorite season. You've had enough time,
Okay, yeah.
Michael.
Okay, so as I said like earlier,
You obviously
it's
you said 12.
I said season 12 for Big Brother and season 2 for Japan.
Yeah.
Both seasons you guys are from. Oh man, I think the only thing that I think is gonna push this season over the other is the fact I like the winner a lot more, and I think the cast was probably one of the biggest assembled cast of like big names and strong players I've ever seen, which is why and probably a lot more meaningful in terms of like having more story behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's got to be season 12.
I thought you were gonna say season 2.
The thing with Survivor Japan, I don't think Logic deserved the win at all. I know Daisy played a much stronger game, because Daisy was literally played like Kane,
Mm-hmm.
like from like final 9 to final 6.
So after
Which is
Kane got
great.
out,
She was the one who took Kane out, and no one realized it. No one gave her any credit.
You're
And then when we got to final tribal council after she, and literally like the last 2 votes, it was like Harrison and Magty were the last 2 eliminations. She controlled Hot Dog's vote for both those, and those are the 2 most pivotal votes of the entire season. Because like, okay, who between Harrison and Magty and Logic, who do I need to get rid of? Who do I have a better odds of beating at the end? And she was like, okay, let me bring Logic and Hot Dog. And then when she got there, no confidence at all. She completely folded. She was like, I'm not even gonna try. I already know you guys are all voting Logic, and I'm like, what are you doing?
like you play for so long and so many hours. I can't imagine giving up
Yeah.
at that
Whereas
point.
like season 12, like it was a non-stop battle.
It lasted till
and-
4 a.m.
It would that. I mean that's what like I like about like my seasons. Like granted they're long, but they're
good.
I like exactly. I like the longevity of it. I like that like you can actually see gameplay unfold, and like crazy shit happens all the time, and it's just like, wow, crazy.
Like
Like,
Pepe, but like Pepe convincing him to stay.
I don't. Yeah, that was the final 7 of
To
Pepe
Quack,
convincing
which
him
is
to stay.
insane.
Yeah, that was insane. In a favor moment, oh my god. I think
I'd be shocked if it wasn't that, to be honest.
if we're talking about best move,
Well, best move, yeah, obviously that's gonna go to Pepe. Somehow convincing Quack for him to stay over Double, who was on the block like 8 times already, which is insane to me. Because we were all like pushing the narrative of Double being the block fallen guy.
that's definitely up there. It's definitely top 3, and right at the forefront of my mind, that's definitely one I think of. So it's probably gonna take number 1 for best move, at least for like right now. If I had more time to think about it, probably might not be.
Yeah.
But best overall moment, I mean, it's got to be the All Stars vote reading. I mean, it was the longest season. It was like 10 hours long.
Oh.
And it was all worth it.
Was it a close vote?
It's just 5-4, and it was a little bit of background, just like make it. This is like 9 seasons prior, and then you get to like your 10th season, and it's like, okay, this is it. This is All Stars. Like this season, we have to go all out. We have to go crazy. We have to get like the best possible cast, and like I live and pie build a beautiful house. It was amazing. It was incredible. And then like I was like getting the cast ready, and I spent like 3 hours trying to perfect the cast, and then I had like 3-4 guys tell me like that they couldn't make it, and I'm like, oh my god. So I had to keep casting like backup All Stars, and then like last minute, like I had to cast someone that was like non All Star, and then I was like, oh wait, NKS just DM'd me, he can actually play, and I was like, thank God I can have a full cast of All Stars.
Yeah.
And then going into the season, like no one played how they normally play, and that was just like insane. And then I had this crazy idea, because I never did a triple eviction, because I hate triple evictions. I think they're the biggest bullshit ever. Never did one, because I was saving it for All Stars, and I was like, it's kind of bland if you just do a normal triple eviction.
Mm-hmm.
Let me add the rewind twist from Big Brother 16.
Ooh.
But here's the thing. Let me make sure people don't even know its existence at all. So at week 1, I was like, listen, guys, there's a button in the house. You can click it if you want. I don't care. And so Trey, one of my good friends, clicks it immediately. And then like as weeks go by, because it goes from final 16 to final 8, so halfway through the game, this button's just chilling there. And then like every now and again, people are like, "What'd that button do?" I'm like, I said it was just a button. I never said anything with it. Don't worry about it. And no one expected it. We get to final 8. This guy Lemons wins HOH. You know, he's trying to get these 3 big targets out. And then, you know, I get to like the vote count, and I'm like, by a vote of like 3 to 1 to 0. And I was like, oh wait, remember that button that was pressed? And there was like this cool moment of like everyone just like, oh shit, we have to replay this entire week, and all this shit has to go down all over again.
Yep.
And you could hear like people were like going nuts, people were going crazy, and it's like, oh my god, this is so cool, this is so crazy. And then we get to like the final 3, and it was BMO, Liv, and Lumi.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, then Liv and Lumi become the final 2, and Lumi
Girl power, dude.
prior exactly, that was like the first successful one I've ever seen in any of my game shows. It's just cool to see. And for people that don't know, Lumi played 8 of my seasons prior. She played every single season 2 to 9, season 2 to 10, all except for season 1, which barely even counts because it was just my SMP friends and one IRL friend. So she obviously has this big story. She's never won before. She lost in the final 2 in season 8 to Blarga. And then I have Liv, the person who's done like all this incredible work for me from season 7 to 10, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? It's like the worst. It was like the most bittersweet final 2, because like I want to see Lumi win to like finish her crazy story from season 2 and on, and I want to see Liv win so she gets all like that payoff from literal months of working nonstop to build up this game show and make it what it is. And you know, Liv was going in, you know, people didn't know her game at all, and Lumi was like the consensus, and Lumi's speech was so bad, like the consensus going into the vote was 9-0, Lumi wins.
Yep.
Her speech was so bad and Liv's speech was so dominant that it became a 5-4. Unfortunately for Liv, it was in Lumi's favor.
Man.
But it was like so close, and then you get to that final vote where it's like that final split vote, everyone knows it's 4-4, and you're just like, the winner of Big Brother All-Stars season 10. Congratulations, Lumi. That is just,
you can't ask for anything better.
It was perfect, yeah.
Every season it's always been a 5-4 or like a 3-3-2, or no, it's like a 3-3-2 or like 4-3, like, you know, like it's every vote is a tie basically.
Yeah, and then it leads to the tiebreaker for Survivor, but there's not that in Big Brother, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact, like I just have flashback. I've hosted actually more Big Brother seasons than Survivor.
That's crazy.
Back when I was like 10, I had my Xbox One. I just recorded Xbox One Big Brothers. I still have footage. But I was like, "Hi guys!" Like, "Hello, welcome to."
Oh no!
Oh no, man!
I hosted at least like 30 of those. Like
you gotta post that. You gotta post that.
Yeah, I think I'll find the clip, but it was funny because thinking about it, I've met some of the old people from, because I left the Xbox community without saying anything.
Yeah.
Kind of, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, bye. So when I came on like the computer and Discord and everything, I found like my friend like Tommy. He's a really old guy I used to play with, and like Lucent Rug. I used to.
I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, back when I was like 10. I don't know how old Rug is personally, but he used to play my seasons. So like,
that's cool.
Yeah, because after I didn't see him for like 5 or 4 years, I saw him again. I was like, what's good? What's good, man? How you doing?
And then he realizes your voice is deeper. You're like, who is this? Who's this guy? This ain't the squeaker. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
I was definitely. Yeah, I have the footage right here. It was my season 1 finale. I think Rug won this season actually.
That's insane.
There's the footage right there.
Was that a close vote as well?
I don't even know. I can't remember. Like,
Bro,
I remember-
close votes or something crazy, man.
There's just something about it which makes you as a host feel like more accomplished at like, you
Like,
know,
oh my god, having a good players
having-
playing good games.
so many good people have good games, and then the jury members just like, I don't know, I want to call it indecisive, but like showing who
Split.
they like really want to win because of their game style, and they like their game style obviously for giving them a
You're
vote
not
to win.
following someone.
Yeah, unless you're following someone and just basically giving them the one, and then that's just like completely bullshit to me. Like,
Yeah, Rug did win it.
I mean, it's a shame though. Like ever since All Stars, it's straight up for the past 5 seasons. It's always been a 7-2 vote.
I blame Pepe. And
You're 14-4. You're 14-4. Or I guess 4 for 14.
I mean, that, like, I'm gonna be honest, season 15 was a lot harder than season 12, at least for me, because well, no, yeah,
Season 15 was harder than season 12. For you.
yes, without a doubt, I had to convince people I had to convince Thermal and Killer to keep me over Don Cheadle,
yeah,
who did
that was
nothing.
crazy. That was crazy.
Which is insanity. And then they didn't care.
Season 15 was unfortunately so forgettable.
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. It's like the seasons where it gets so forgettable for me. It's just like, yeah.
Well, it's because that's crazy. Because like you, Joey, and Ben dominated that season, regardless of Ben going out as early as he did.
Yeah. I
But
don't know.
oh god, what was that crazy stat?
16 out of 24 wins or something. We didn't win 8 comps.
16 out of 25 competitions, meaning 64% of the competitions were won solely by one of you three. Like that's...
Exactly. I mean, when you get dominant players and then you add them to a weaker player, like, no offense to who I'm about to name, but like Hero, Duckweed, who else is really bad at comps? Cody Taylor. Who else? There's like Midpan. There's like a lot of people who just suck at comps. Obviously, because they don't put time into it. Like, that's how I got good at comps. I used to suck.
Yeah.
I used to be probably about as bad as Duckweed is right now. And no offense, Duckweed. I love you, my guy. Like, he's gotten better. Like, today he did so much better than I ever thought he would be, like, in comps and everything, because he got close to winning a few.
Mhm.
Like, against me and Belliard. Which is, like, if you can somehow beat me and Belliard, because, like, I know NKS said this whenever, you know, like, he says this a lot whenever he plays. If you beat me in a comp, I'm going to, like, shake your hand, be like, congratulations, you did it. Like, because that's huge to beat NKS in a comp.
I don't think I've ever beat him in a comp now that I think about it.
Exactly. Like, it barely happens unless it's a comp they're not good
Because
at.
of comps, it's a switch for me. Like, there's some seasons where like I go on like at the final like 6, I can win out at that point, or like final 7, I win out.
Yep.
And then there's some seasons I'm like absolutely like terrible, I just can't win anything. Like,
It's the exact same thing for me because like I lost a season to Pepit because I won every immunity but one that NKS won. Funny enough, and then I beat NKS the rest of the way, and then Pepit ended up beating me. And I'm like,
well, the thing is,
fuck.
in my season, Jungle Warfare, NKS just went on a win streak. Sorry about that, but
No, you're
NKS
good.
went on a win streak of immunity wins. Like,
How
I thought,
many?
probably like 7, 6. I think no, 6. Oh my god!
Damn, dude.
Like-
Dude, I think 7 might be a record, if anything.
And I was like, please,
7 is
please.
tough.
Like, although
I did 6.
That,
7's insane.
I like how he was winning out though, but I was just like, please, man.
Flip the script, man.
I know,
It's
and then
kinda
like
boring.
in the final 4 competition, he lost.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
And
insane.
everyone was just like, you could hear everyone go, yes, he's got, yeah. Like, they were so happy he lost. NKS knew it, dude. He
That's
went from like 7 to 6 immunity wins. He just,
that's so tough. That's so tough.
That's insane.
I've always capped out at 5, but it's so rare for me to even get close to that.
No, because
I've
there's usually
never
good
been-
people that you're playing against, you know?
Yeah, never even that good at comps. Like I can sometimes knock off a puzzle or two. If it's parkour, I can do pretty well on them. But like overall, nah, man. It's never been my thing. Even when I get to those 5, it's never at the right time. It's only like if I'm on the block, but like when I need to win a comp to like actually like get like another week by, it's just it never happens.
Never, yeah. Because that's when it gets into your social game where you gotta step it up a bit, you know?
Yeah, which is honestly the most recent example. I was like, I duoed up with Ben and like Hales' big brother, dominating the entire single season. I swear we went to like 4 back-to-back HOHs. Then it was my turn to win an HOH at Final Five. We knew we were gonna get nominated. It was parkour, and it was hosted on my server as well, like my big brother server. Like I knew the comp like the back of my hand, and I dropped the bag, and I was like, "No, Ben, I'm so sorry." And then went to ladder endurance and I beat him, and I was like, "I'm sorry, Ben. I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying to save you. I can't." And then he had to go, and then I was like, "Damn, bro." And then final 3, got to part 3 HOH, couldn't even pull it out for just to like win it for him. Granted, I stabbed like everyone in the back in the jury besides Ben, so I don't think I would have won regardless. But you know, it's how it goes.
All right, let's get into the next question here because I got 2 more. And then,
Oh shit.
Yeah, we got 2. I got 2 more. So, next question is: out of everybody that you've hosted so far, what player would you be the most afraid to go against in like a Survivor, Big Brother, anything, even a fight?
Kane, you can take this.
I'm like in her life or what are we talking about?
In a fight?
Actually.
In a fight?
Like are we talking about that? Just like into like Minecraft?
Yeah,
Are we
no.
talking about
Like I'm saying, in fight, in a fight, you ain't beating Pepe in a fight. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
that's what I was
If you
saying. I was
look
like,
at
man,
Pepe-
come on.
No, I'm being serious. Like in like MC Survivor, like who are you most afraid to go against?
It may sound stupid, but no one really. Like, I'm not afraid to go against anyone. It's just, the way I play, it doesn't work for them. Like, they can't control me. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm on the bottom. Like, I'll try my hardest. I think the most annoying person to go against is Pepe. Like, or Anton. Because they always have their goads, and it's always just stupid. And then Anton gets mad at me. He's like, "What? Why did you vote me out? Like, I was voting out your allies, but I know you couldn't vote out mine. But still, like, I remember like there's a winner at war season. I was playing with him, and Anton kept voting out my allies. But every time I was like, "No, let's vote out one of yours," they're like, "No, no."
Oh no.
So like I got so annoyed by that, so I voted him out, and then I don't know. I don't think anyone's a big threat in my eyes because I'm always yelling. I don't really care that much. So like, if I do get like if they get out, it's perfect for me because then I have the game at that point.
Yeah, I get you. So a Pepid answer there saying you were not afraid of anyone. Who would have thought? I thought you would at least be afraid of somebody.
No,
Yep.
it's hard. It's just hard to because like I'm always like I don't think about it when I'm playing. You
Yeah.
know, like when I see Pepe play, I'll work with him. Like it don't matter. Like I'll work with Anton.
Yeah.
But when I cut him off, I cut him off. Like
Exactly.
it's just I don't think about it when I go into seasons because I always yell. Like
Yep.
it's always the same thing. I yell. I'm like, you need to go, and then it's just I don't really think about it at the time. But
Yeah.
I guess Pepe's the most annoying.
Okay. So we got a most annoying. What are you getting from you, Michael?
Okay, if we're talking about like my game show, like if I played my own game show, who would I
Yeah.
most hate to play with?
Yeah, most likely.
Blarga.
Right? Yeah.
Little
That's what I thought was
surprising
gonna be.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know why. Like I've seen him play other game shows. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but when it's in my it's when it's one of my seasons, especially my big brother.
Yep.
Guy's on a different level. Guy becomes like the second coming of Jesus Christ or something. Like I don't know how he does it. I don't know why he does it specifically in my game show, but guy goes on a tear, and he's set himself up with such a backstory throughout my entire series that like if he gets the final 2, it's game over because he could be like, I had this massive target in my back like going throughout this entire season, and I made it to the end. Then it's like, how the hell am I supposed to top that? You know.
Yeah.
But we're talking about just like a normal game show. I suck so much at like final tribal councils and like final 2s, even though I don't get to them that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I find it so difficult for me to explain my game, because my brain is so crazy and
Yeah, like
so
you have it
around.
set as a certain way in your brain of how you play. Like
Yeah.
you know it.
It's-
You just
yeah.
can't explain it.
I'm really bad at being like,
Yeah.
no, this is how I did it. This is how I did it. And they're like, wait, what about this thing? And then I'm like,
No,
no, I didn't do that. Wait, what? Yeah.
And I still had the Kane father mode on. So like I still had that mode on where I was like being egotistical, acting out. And I remember Anton, he messaged me, he's like, okay, you gotta turn off the Kane father mode and just be yourself. I was like, okay. So then I switched up the mode a bit. So
Yeah.
So
I don't know,
who are you
I-
most afraid of them, Michael? Like in a regular game show?
in a regular game show, like who?
Kane the Lurky Boy.
This is literally just gonna. I like how these questions just ego boost people too, because it's kind of funny.
Well, I'm not really scared to play with anyone
Yeah.
because I know like
Yeah, it's
I'm
just.
gonna kick their ass half the time.
But like, if someone was sitting there at the end of you, who would you want it not to be?
Oh, that was the question.
That's what it's kind of like. There's
Yeah.
that, and then this is like a second form of the question.
Okay, so person I would hate to see in the finals. I mean, it's got to be
With
Pepe
you,
because
yeah.
bro makes it so personal. It's hard not to vote for him. And then I've taken the account that like I suck like presenting my game.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, that just adds salt on the wound. I'm not winning. So it's got to be him who I'd most hate to see in the finals, who I'd most hate to play with. I don't want to say their name, but they should 100% know who they are if they're like watching this for whatever reason. You know, I think, you know, I feel like Jeff has an idea of who.
I think I do too.
I'll narrow it down to they've won my season and I don't like them at all, and I'm very open about not liking them.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hate when they play with me. Like I've people have always said they hate playing with me. Like
I love playing with you, Kane.
Yeah.
the thing is not for like outside. Like, they don't hate me outside. They just hate how I play. Like they just hate how I act inside the game. Like
I
I
feel
remember,
like you bring energy.
huh?
You bring energy to the game, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, but no, I think people hate it for like a specific reason. Like sometimes I'm on a different tribe, and like motherfuckers from the other tribe are like, man, like Kane's in this game. Like, okay, we like us all like we now get him out soon. Like we all gotta get him out. Like, and it makes no sense. Like even if I'm doing nothing, they just are like, I don't know. That's what sucks. That's what with Anton too. Like if he plays, everyone's gonna go after him. If I play, everyone's gonna go after me. If Pepper plays, he's pretty good at like playing the middle ground, so he's pretty. I think he's pretty good at playing.
All right. So we got one last question, and then I'll let you guys say whatever you want to say. So my last question is going to be, obviously I just asked, who is your like least favorite person you want to see in FTC with you? Who is like your favorite person to play the game with? And with that, who is the person you want to see at FTC with you the most? Like, who do you think you could outright beat no matter what?
I know it could beat a lot of people. That's the thing.
I think we all can beat a lot of people easily. A lot of them are goats.
I don't want someone to watch this. Whatever. Well, his name's Outrageon. So,
You're saying outright?
Outright? I don't know what I do to him, but he just never betrays me. Like, I'm like, Outright, man, I trust you. He's like, Queen, I will not betray you. I swear I'm taking you to the end. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, come on.
You'll be like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Thank you for your gift.
He is such a good guy. Like, he gave me like $15 on DoorDash once, so he was pretty cool about that.
You haven't paid him back?
Oh, it's for my birthday gift.
Oh, okay.
And
so he's taking care of you, you know.
He's a great guy, but to be honest, I outshine his game, you know, in many ways.
So he's your favorite person to play with and take to the end and beat.
He's so fun, man. That's just, I love the buddy system I have with him. He's just fun, you know?
Yeah.
Not even hating on him either. It's just, if you have someone that's like, I don't consider him my GOAT either.
Yeah, no.
I consider him a genuine friend.
Yep.
But even though I roll most of the votes, he's always with it. And sometimes he's like, what about we do this? I'm like, no, bad move. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't get mad at me. I don't get mad at him. If he votes me out, you know, whatever. I don't know. He's such a cool guy, so I like him.
Yeah. Michael?
Okay, so it's on to me. Person in the finals that I feel like he could beat like anyone, especially because my game's a lot better, and now people are like worried about me making it to the end, and then that's always comes down to I need to win a comp, and I fail, I get out, no shocker there. So I feel like nowadays I could definitely beat people in finals, except for like people that like have been there so many times and know how to present themselves.
Well, who would, if you can't answer that, who is the person that you would like to beat the most in an FTC or like Final 2 situation?
I would love to beat Pepit. I would love to just
yes.
Oh God, because he wins all the time.
I would love to be Anton.
I would love to be anyone who just shows up at finals and then wins. Like, like Pepit is like at the top of that list. and I would love to pep you out there. Hey, yo, final 2 in a game. Let's see how it goes down at the end. You know, uh, that'd be just such a win in my books, and probably most fun I have playing with someone. Uh, Originally I was thinking Oxy because that guy's my brother. But like we've played very few games together. We've always been ride or die, except for like maybe like one game that we played together. And we never play again. Like he's always busy. I don't
We
remember
don't
the
play
last
that
time.
often either. I don't think we
Yeah,
play.
Well,
we
the funny
never
thing is, I
play.
think Oxy ties us three all together too, because Michael, you never even heard of me until Oxy told me you to cast me, and I've never
It was
talked. The
random.
funny thing is, I never talked to Oxy myself ever before.
I don't
Yeah,
talk. I don't talk to
yeah.
Oxy.
I've never spoken to him.
I wasn't even gonna cast you for season 12, and then I was like in production chat with Liv, and then Oxy randomly joins like, "Hey, yo, cast Jeff," and I'm like, "All right, whatever."
That's what he does. Like sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like in the waiting room for something, and he joins like Cash Kane, and he puts me in.
He
Like
did that for Survivor, like I think, right? Didn't he do that in Survivor too?
what?
Like for my Survivor, I feel like he's done that to you.
Oh no, yeah, he did. Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah.
Also, you guys didn't cast me in season. Wait, you guys weren't gonna cast me in season 1. Isn't that right?
Hales didn't want you to be casted, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to piss her off. And then I forgot who it was. I think it might have been like Hawk or someone. Like his Wi-Fi just pooped out, and I was like, all right, I'm bringing Kane on.
Yeah,
And
and
then
I
you
saw.
got what, third boot?
Yeah, third boot. So I don't
Nice.
know. Hales hates me for some reason. Like, I think Hales is just a fun person to play with because I know Hales gets mad at me.
Hales pisses me the fuck off so many times when I play
I
with her.
know.
Same here. Same here. Because like the last season I played with Michael, Hales fucked him.
Yeah.
Obviously
I
in
love
the
Hales,
obviously in the
but
game, but like.
Yeah, Hales, I love you to death, but you screw me over so much. And then, so yeah, back to what I was saying. I originally was gonna say Oxy, but him and I have not played in ages. Probably gonna go with the person I play with the most and the person I work with the most. Kind of out of left field here, but Ben. It's just Ben. That guy, we've been through hell and back in terms of playing in Celeste, which if you ever played there, that's literally
Not
hell.
fun at all.
And then getting out of there is going back.
Yeah.
And then we played in Hale's game show. Him and I, we just literally we don't mind just like getting in a call with one another for like 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever the hell,
Yeah.
and just bounce off different ideas, different plays. Like, should we go with these people? Should we go with that people? Like, if we win, what should we do? What should we target? Like, we're both like very open with like our mindsets because we're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I know I can trust this person. Especially if we like we establish like I don't care. I'll run with you to the end no matter what. Like, and then it's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna work on the same wavelength. We're gonna have like the same ideas, and then, you know, once someone gets their way like one time, then you gotta like, then it's like, okay, I have to let this guy now get his way.
Mhm.
You know, so it's sort of like a 50-50 partnership, and we work really well together. And I probably played with him the most out of anyone, which kind of surprises me looking back. But
It's
I
weird
crazy.
because I always pin Blarga, Jason, and like Ben together. And
Larga,
you.
Jason, and Ben.
Really?
Yeah, I always like I see them, and like they.
Because you probably see us in Celeste.
No, I just see them I see you guys so many times play together, and I just see you guys.
Yeah.
I think you guys are the same people. So
That's
I'm like,
funny.
okay, I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
like differentiate it. So
I
it's
feel like
funny.
Jason,
Yeah.
Ben, Rug, and I, we
Oh,
we played so many games together in Celeste, and I've played with them in a sequester before as well, and we only work together, and like people are always like, oh, you're casting a pre.
Uh-oh.
We only work together because you guys won't let us work with you guys, because you guys are like straight men alliance, and then we're like we all get targeted, and then it's just basically hell, and then we just get screamed at, and it's just like
Exactly.
Okay,
That's my whole issue of that Discord.
because there's so many
That's
people
for
I
another
love
day.
to talk to and like work with, but then like I just get like turned away, and it's
Exactly. You
like
get
not my fault. Like I'll happily backstab Ben.
yeah.
Like I'll happily backstab these people. Just give me like a chance to work with you, and I will.
And when you
like-
don't, I'm just gonna keep working with them. I have no reason not to. If you're just gonna just keep
Yeah.
doing this to me.
And if you're obviously trying to make me your goat, and obviously like trying to manipulate me, and like and it's clearly not in my best interest, and it's like it's a what's it called, a lopsided partnership, then
Yeah.
I'm not going with you. Like
Two-way
and-
street, my friend. We got to be on the same
Exactly.
side.
exactly. Then it's like that's your fault.
Yeah. No, I
And
know what you're
it's-
saying.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. It means a
Yeah,
lot
it's
to
been
me. Obviously, this time is now whatever you guys want to say. If you have anything to say,
Yeah,
obviously,
change.
plug your own, Discord servers and everything, which will be in the description. But yeah, the time's yours, fellas.
First word will matter.
All right. Hello everyone. I'm MrFool. If you don't already know by now. Listen. I may not have hosted in a very long time, but it'd mean a lot. Come down to Fool Productions. Join up. And I'm working on getting season 16 off the ground, starting to run, trying to find some more time to host. And new players are always welcome. Love to see them. It's a ton of fun, at least in my opinion. So yeah, come and play. And if I ever get that Survivor up and started again, come and play in that. If you're an org person, join my Survivor org. What's up?
I mean,
Discord links in description.
I can definitely attest to his Big Brother being so much fun with the 2 seasons I've played. But that's just because of Joey and Pepe. But
Thank you.
I mean, for real, like you don't get that much of production that they care about everything that's going to happen in the game. At least with me. Like there's so many smaller hosts that don't really care. But yeah, obviously Kane.
So, yeah, you guys, just join Survivor Waffles. You know what I'm saying? Playing one of my seasons, reviving. I'm one of the best hosts in the game right now. Who can attest? Oh, you can't really, but
Yeah, I can play,
See-
but I can attest. I can attest.
Yeah,
I can
see,
attest.
see,
Yeah, sure.
So, I really love you guys to come down. We do some random stuff all the time. I probably host meme seasons a lot. Do a bunch of random shit. So join, have fun with us, and yeah. I just want to say this community so far has been pretty nice to me. Definitely some sides of the community has kind of punched me sometimes, but I get back up. And there's been multiple times where I'm like, hey, I'm done with the community, I'm leaving. And I'm like, I mean, come on, one more game, and then
One
it
more
comes
game.
on, and you do,
You already know. You already know. Yeah, no.
But I really do love the community. There is some really good gyms in here. I feel like I can actually meet some of these people in real life one day, hopefully. And
Pepe.
yeah, I haven't met Pepe. He's like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. But yeah, that's about it.
Well, yeah. After that, thank you guys for watching. Next time, we're obviously going to have a lot of different guests on. If you guys want to get in, DM me on Discord. Obviously, if you're not on my Discord, do that already. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out and watching. It's been fun. See you next time, y'all.